Go. Hello, my name is Bryce Tells. With me today is Dr. Ryan Simmons. He is an IO psychologist, a certified change management professional, doctor of education, master instructional designer, and a coach. I'm so excited to be able to have this conversation today. Cannot wait to see what we learn from all of his experience. Thank you so much for today for coming on the show, Dr. Ryan.
Yeah, thanks for reaching out. It's great to have the conversation.
Yeah, you're welcome. And before we go any further, for those watching, if you're watching this from any location that is outside of our free community, I just want to personally invite you inside. It's taking a tremendous amount of time and energy to create such a welcoming group of people who want to see you succeed. So if that's what you've been missing out on or struggling with in this time, just come and join us by clicking the link either above or below the video and join us inside. Now, Dr. Ryan, what was life like before you got into, psychology and coaching? Really, what was the catalyst that brought you into the space?
Well, I will say it does start a ways back. So I was in a student leadership organization back in middle school.
Oh, wow.
And that kind of led me to be a state officer and take on more responsibilities. And in those responsibilities, we were taught leadership skills and the same sort of leadership training that you would get as a corporate professional. So we were, as young people, we were already going out there and learning about how to collaborate with people in a way that's very inclusive and brings them in a space where they feel like they can be their best selves.
Actually, I guess that's an interesting transition. So maybe what are some things, because I think a lot of coaches, one thing that could help them out is how you can make someone feel more comfortable and more, safe when you talk to them. Maybe what are maybe 2 or 3 things you can do to make someone feel more comfortable or safe when they speak to you?
Yeah, well, the first thing is setting, at least in a space where you're coaching, set ground rules. Talk about what you're actually going to do during that time. Talk about what you're going to do with the information, and remind them that this is their time. And really, it's a place for you not to intercede and be a consultant, but sit back and have them really talk about their issues, give them the space that they might not have where they work.
That's nice. That's really unique, actually, because then they know what to expect. Wow. Let me ask you this question. So nowadays, what problems are people generally trying to work through when they come and, seek you out?
Yeah, so right now it's a lot about relationships because I don't know about everybody else, but it seems like I keep running into siloed organizations where they're trying to get work done, but they can't move it forward, or they just don't have a way to start a conversation with somebody in the next silo. And that's just something that we can work through in a coaching session or two to get them that step to move forward. But really, there's something much further in that problem, at the root of that issue, that we can work towards and really dive into to help diagnose for that person. The other thing is definitely work-life balance right now. With everybody working from home and all the COVID work from home orders, are we going back or are we not? There's a real ambiguity there that people just aren't used to navigating.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a great point. Right now we're kind of in that time where some people are in quarantine, leaving, and then some are coming back in. Maybe
Yeah.
What's been one of your biggest takeaways from this time?
Giving yourself space. And I know I said giving space before, but defining that a little bit more, giving yourself the time to relax, giving yourself the time to actually get work done. Because if you're working in a corporate space, you're probably used to this hurry and get it done as fast as you can mentality, which is great when you're trying to get things done. Everything's been spelled out. But when you need time to navigate the things that you don't understand yet, and the ambiguity that you wouldn't have if you were in an office, because you can go right to the next person's office and ask questions, it's something that you need to remember, that there's time there. And it's okay to have some downtime where you're trying to figure something out.
Mm. That's a great point. That's a great point, especially when things are late. Yeah, that's a great point. Let me ask you this question. So kind of thinking about, the future or life, after this, maybe what does the vision look like for you as far down the road as you like to think or talk about?
Yeah, so I would say probably in the next couple of years, at least for me, I will still probably be doing some remote work. And I'm actually okay with doing that. I've done remote work before. as an external consultant. I'm doing it right now, of course, and it's something that, as long as I get back and start talking to people face to face soon, and eventually there will be a time when we do that, and it will
Yeah.
probably be 2 years from now where it's a little bit more common. But that'll be very helpful, and that'll be great for me, because I would love to be able to run some of my coaching sessions and leadership sessions in person, because I think there's much more value that can be had there. Um, Coaching and working online is great. There's nothing really wrong with it, but adding context is very important when you're talking about people skills.
Yeah, that's a great point. And let me ask you this question. So, are you working on anything new? Because I know that you were telling me about like some cool, I think you were saying something about leadership that you're going to be helping people with.
Yeah, so right now, mostly just focusing on the coaching, but the leadership programs I'm putting together are for people at all levels of the organization. Hopefully, we'll have them all together by early to mid next year to go ahead and run some sessions. And this is a little bit different than most of the CAN training that I think most people are used to, whether it's Dale Carnegie or another CAN training out there. I decided to focus specifically on all of the negative things that you hear from people around leadership training. Like, this will never work, emotions have no place in the workplace. And I address those head on. And because when I'm doing leadership sessions, if you're going to be resistant, I'm going to make you my new best friend because there's something there to learn about your experience, not just for you, but the other people in the room too.
Yeah, that's a great point. Where can people go to maybe learn more about you, or where can they go to follow on what you have going on?
Yeah, so the business is named after me, RH Simmons, Simmons Consulting, and it's .com. So you can go out there, rhsimmonsconsulting.com, and you can read a little bit more about me. You can also find me on LinkedIn, Ryan Simmons, or sometimes Ryan Hugh Simmons. You'll need to type in because there's a lot of us out there, the same name.
Are there a lot of Dr. Ryan Simmons?
There's a couple of Dr. Ryan Simmonses out there,
Oh,
and,
wow.
and even going through undergrad, I actually used to get emails from the other Ryan Simmons on campus.
Oh, wow.
And turns out that we had the same friends, and so eventually we met up.
That's funny, man. Something about the name, who knows? But I guess that's even a greater point. For those watching, we thoroughly hope that you found this valuable. And if you're searching for a place where people maybe support the stuff you have going on, right? There's not too many places, especially nowadays when we're inside of our home, where people are encouraging us to go after what we want. Maybe around people who maybe their dreams aren't as big as yours, or they're not the same, and maybe they're not as supportive, and they're trying to get you to kind of rein back in your ideas and your dreams. In this time period, more than ever, you need to get around people that actually want you to expand. So if you've been having trouble finding that great support group, come and join our group by clicking the link either above or below the video, and come and join us inside. Everybody inside is kind of formed a mastermind, and we give tips, trainings, tools, and resources to help you go on and achieve your dreams, whatever those might be, because there's such a very diverse population inside. So if that's you, go on ahead and click on the link either above or below the video and join us inside. Now, thanks, Ryan, Dr. Ryan. We really appreciate your time and really appreciate learning from you.
Yeah, thank you. It's been great having this conversation.
Excellent. And, for those watching, we thoroughly hope that you enjoyed watching this. Feel free to hit the share button, join the community. We're done recording in 3 and 2 and 1, and thank you.